Monday, Monday. Never did a Monday before, but you know what? The big boys in Geneva, and Michaela is recovering from her flu and or her sore throat, and we really send out all our best wishes to the beautiful Michaela de Chatillon, and we can't wait for the return to watch Fashion Police. Hey, so it's Monday, so I have nothing planned. And I'm an hour late. I had to go to the tax man and figure out all my crap. Send all your pictures to bastarddirk@gmail.com so we have some content for today, because I'm just winging it and I'm happy to be here with y'all. And Nick Sisto's first up. Hey, Nick Sisto, he's a Patreon and he's a wonderful guy. Let me put the Patreons up on the screen. My beautiful Patreon pantheon: Jim Lassick, Andrew Wolkowicz, Go Moto Soto, Nick Sisto, Complicated Time, Fergal McDermott, Hey Fargal, Nathaniel Hannon, Dana O'Malley, and Lord Scotty H. Also Dean McKenzie, not to be confused with the other Dean. He's Dean McKenzie. He's one of the pantheon. Al Benedetti, Angelo Minichello, and Gas Man. And I just want to just take a moment to talk about dear Gas Man. And just want to let you know that I got a message today, and just my special wish just to everybody out there who's feeling good and feeling bad. And it's Monday, it's a new week. I hope there's some joy for everybody out there. Things don't always go our way. I've had a pretty shitty year, and trying to make the best of it. You guys have helped out a lot. So Nick Sisto, thank you so much for that. Let's give you the big gong, bang a gong, get it on. Happy Monday, everyone. And Dirk, I had a chance to listen to the CD. Great stuff. Thanks so much. Yeah, it was a fun record to make. I mean, a fun record to make. It wasn't like I went in and made a record. I made it in my leisure. I have a friend who used to come over when he was available, and I'd either have a song or we'd work on it together. And he's a genius, and he's such a good singer. What an amazing lead guitar player, keyboard player, bass player. The guy can play every instrument under the sun. I've known him since I was a kid. He was a fan of my band, and he used to come to all our shows. And then I found out he was an amazing guitar player. And when I decided, or when my band stopped really doing anything, I said, hey, you want to play guitar with me? And we did a lot of shows, and not a lot, but we did some. But then when I worked on that record, he was the only guy I could think of that I'd want to work with, because when you work with the same people for a really long time, it's very strange to get into a new routine with other people. But this guy, it was instant. We love the same stuff. He sings like a dream. I mean, amazing. Like, we'd get on the mic together. A lot of people don't do that. We'd get on the mic together and do all the harmonies. There's so much harmony on that record, and I'm really happy you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Nick Sisto. Thank you so much. Hey, we got some people in the room. Hey, it's Monday. I'm so happy to see you all. Dave, F451, dude, you cracked me up today. I was watching the Oisin live stream, and he was on there. There was a troll after me telling me I've got hair plugs, and he said the hair plugs are coming in but looking a little thin, and I was like, it was not as thin as your penis. I mean, we're all reduced to 14-year-olds when it comes to this shit. It's so stupid. Listen, my hair I might be gray, but I'm not losing my hair. That's all I have to say. And I'm not sensitive. If I went bald, I'd just shave my head. I would be fine with that. Ray says, aren't we lucky? No, aren't I lucky? The awesome Powen is here. You were on there too. Hi, y'all. A lot of fun watching. That's really beautiful. Oh, that IWC is gorgeous and green. Oof, that's beautiful. Man, the IWC was really, the booth was very impressive. I love that I don't know, those garbage bags to make look like water, and they put lights on them. Very smart way to create, the look of the sea or moving water. and it seemed like they had all their watches in pools of water. So that was the theme this year. Very nice. Then he went to Lange and Langenzone and Piaget. Of course, that's, I made the joke that Piaget's for the mistress and Van Cleef and Arpels for the wife. two very high end brands, but one's just a little bit higher end than the other. Don't buy the mistress. It's very French. Does anybody ever see that movie? It's like, I think it's called Chloe from 5 to 9. It's very interesting stuff. Boom. See, I gotta switch wrists. I put a new coat of tape on my clasp today because you guys know that I do that. I put this tape over my clasp because I don't want to wreck it. So I got to switch it to my left hand because of this new mic setup, because I don't want to bang it because, it'll be reported. I'll be reported to the watch police. Fedster's here. Evening all. Awesome Palman says, what are you buying from the tax returns? Tax returns. I worked at a place, when you're a bartender, you always wind up owing money. And that's the worst part. You always wind up owing. And I had a little incident. And my incident was that I had a woman that prepared my taxes every year, and she was a regular customer of mine. And turns out she didn't file. I gave her all my paperwork, and I either broke even or had a couple of money. She goes, no, you look good. Like, it was like 3 years. So I had to file 3 years back taxes that I was so stupid. I was unaware I hadn't filed them. So I had a little issue and I had to take care of that. And that's, not the funnest thing in the whole wide world. Death and taxes. E. Stewart Hall. Hello, E. Stewart Hall. Monday. Can't trust that day. I know. Monday's a funny day. I always consider Monday to be like this kind of day where I try to not do anything important or serious. I always feel like Tuesday should be the beginning of the day. And I've always, even when I had a full-time job for 20 some odd years, I always had Tuesdays off. That was my designated day off because often I'd work on the weekends. Angelo Minichello. Dirk, nice surprise. Evening to all. He said, hey, evening to you. And Vasilios is here too. Evening to you. I sent the card out. I don't know if you got it. Some people got things late. Some people didn't. Angelo also says, Dirk, on the Patreon scroll, you missed an I. Did I? Shit, let me fix that right now. I'm going to fix that live, kiddo. Let me see. Minichello. Oh, I did. Minichello. I did. Minichello, of course. Boom. Save. And let's roll it. There we go. Thank you for letting me know all about that. Always, don't be afraid to tell me about that stuff because I will fix it. I don't know how I did that because I'm always doing that. I'm always practicing my Italian every single day. Because most people probably call you Minichello, right? Because they do that. Ray says, damn it, wearing the wife beater and PJ bottoms is not ready for Fashion Police. It's not Fashion Police. It's just Dark Weekdays. It's just an extra Monday because I'm filling in. I'm the fill-in guy today. Melly C, so nice to hear from you. Good day, Dirk. Nice to see you too. Vaughn, hey, Vaughn. Dave's here again. He was killing me. Montag Monday, the original fireman from Fahrenheit. There you go. It's all about that for you. I'm going to reread that book. I haven't read it in 1,000 years. Nathaniel Hannon fondled the Breitling that's pretending to be a Patek today. Were you fondled that? I want to know where you fondled that, you fondler. The $4.99 Monday super chat. Thank you so much for that. Fat Dirk, you should have listened. She's a lovely lady, and she did my taxes for 20 years, and a friend, and she had like drinking issues, and she owned a brownstone, and she lost it. Like, bad stuff happened to her. She like sunk into a deep, dark hole. And she's one of the loveliest people in the whole wide world. And I'm a little bit paying for it now because there's, compounding crap I have to deal with. And it's like, I got to straighten all that shit out. And I kind of hesitated for a really long time because, you get scared of that stuff. And I'm kind of one of those people, stop, no, don't. But no, I couldn't because she was, this was a person that was a CPA and she was so successful. And every year the staff of the restaurant would get $100 Amex cards. And I used to go and trim her cat's nails. And she's a wonderful person who just wound up having a very deep, dark problem with alcohol. And that happens. In the course of, and I'm not trying to bring it down on a Monday. And remember to send all your emails to bashforddirk@gmail.com, and I will feature you on the show. You share with me, I share it with the world. Where was I going to say? Oh, so I have probably buried, not literally, about 10 or 11 customers over the course of my bartending life. Wonderful people that I was close to, that I had personal relationships with, friendships, deep friendships that, just somehow alcohol just got the best of them. And I've made this statement a bunch of times about liquor. It's like people who drink beer, people who drink wine, blah, blah, blah. But when people start pounding the hard liquor, especially the vodka is what all bartenders refer to as the sneaky booze, because people think nobody could tell. They think it doesn't smell. It does. And they think it's undetectable, but it's also like a one-way ticket to the cemetery. When people start pounding the vodka, it's the number one road to ruin liquor. And I've also said this about vodka, and people who drink vodka, and I don't, as you guys know, I don't drink hard liquor. There's not much art in vodka. It's a neutral distilled liquor. You can filter the shit out of it. I mean, a couple of years ago, it was Kettle, and it goes through these cycles of like Oisin won't drink vodka anymore, and he used to drink vodka, and he says he knows that it's just bad stuff. That's why he loves like aged whiskeys and really great wine. And for a drinker, you should pick your poison wiser. So a couple of years ago, I remember when all the vodka was the rage. A couple of years ago, tequila was the rage, and tequila's certainly better for you. And there's a ton of art to be found in tequila. Whiskey, there's probably the most art. There's so much art in that. But vodka, it's just like, you can just filter the crap out of it, and they say it's smoother. But if I shook up Alexi, like the cheapest crap, and I shook up your favorite, Grey Goose or whatever, you know what? And I made a martini out of it. People don't know. People can't tell because vodka is that neutral. Some of it has a worse Fleischmann's. Some of them have a worse bite than the other. But if you shake it enough with ice, man, you can dilute it to the point where it tastes like vodka, but it tastes smooth. I could make the shittiest, crappiest vodka taste like the smoothest thing ever. So she was a vodka drinker, and and she's alive. She's a lovely person, and I actually have a lot of love in my heart for her. Okay, so that happens. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Let's see. Rufus, hey Rufus, evening Dirk. Nathaniel's at Brown and Company. See, I didn't say Brown and Co. because I hate that. The AD in Atlanta, they sell Patek too. Ooh, did you get to see the new World Timer and all that stuff? Fun stuff. Awesome. Powell wants to know, is any discounts on the Breitling? Do you want that Breitling, Nathaniel? Is that what you're after? Dave F450. Don't know if you've mistaken me with somebody else. I would never say anything derogatory. No, you didn't say anything derogatory to me. I did say the first painting I looked for. No. You were cracking me up, I said. No, you didn't. No, there was a troll. I speak too fast. There was a guy trolling me on the thing. He was talking about saying I had hair plugs. I've never seen this person before. No, you were killing me because you're just funny and witty. I was enjoying. I actually was gonna stop watching the stream because it gets a little meandery, but you kept me on there, Dave, because I thought you were hilarious. I love a clever quip. Who doesn't love one? Tobster. I had it on all day today because it's my daily. But for the show, I'll put it on. You know what? Let me put it on. It's Monday, right? Get off my wrist, Rolex. And I will put it in honor of you. I will put it on my left wrist. It's hot out. It's hot because I'm getting an indent from the bracelet. It's very hot in New York. It's like 80 degrees today. Look at this. I can't put this on my wrist properly because I'm left-handed, and this is an actual strap with a buckle. So I'm not doing it well because I'm not that dexterous with my right hand. Isn't that weird? There it is. The Tobster Seiko, which I absolutely love. Good friend inherited millions from his dad, then drank himself to death with Jameson. A handle a day. You know, when you're buying liquor that comes with a handle, you're in big freaking trouble. Plus 3 packs of Marlboro. That's certainly not going to help. 100s. By the way, 100s, did you know that 100s were designed for ladies? Because they were made to elongate their fingers. So 100s and 120s. I remember when I was a kid, Virginia Slims was a big brand of cigarette that used to be promoted on sporting events like tennis, golf, the Virginia Slims Open. It's funny, like this athletic event was sponsored by cigarettes, but everybody smoked back then. So it was really weird. He says, pretty sad. I tried hard to get him to slow down. I'll tell you a little story. Thank you for that, Topstar. And I'm so sorry for that. We had a friend, Shag Daddy, who's a regular contributor to the show, was a very good friend of mine, a guy whom I absolutely adore. He's one of the nicest people in the world. Just beautiful, beautiful soul of a person, kind as the day is long. We had a friend, a mutual friend, and he used to come in every day with his girlfriend or whatever she was, and they started like bar flying hard. And he started coming in, and he was married and he had a kid, and he would come in every day kind of wearing the same clothes. He used to be impeccably dressed. And one year they bought me a risotto pan for Christmas. I'll never forget. The three of them came in and they presented, because they know how much I love to cook, and it's my risotto pan is something I cherish to this day. I use it all the time. I don't just use it for risotto. I use it to do a lot of vegetable sautés and sauces. I just love it. It's a cast iron and it's beautiful. Anyway, this guy was coming in and looking dirty, crusty, a lot of bruises, dirty clothes. Obviously his wife and he were not getting along, or he had to stay elsewhere, or whatever he was doing. And I spoke to Shag Daddy about it, and I said, I'm going to write him a letter. And he's like, I don't know if it'll help. So I wrote him this letter, a heartfelt letter, as best as I could, telling that he's a beautiful person and I care about him. And I feel really guilty supplying him with alcohol, because they would come in for lunch and he would never leave. And this guy did all these crossword puzzles and Sudoku, however you say that. And he was just so brilliant. And he did not respond kindly to the letter. I became an enemy, and I found out through other bartenders that I know that he was drinking in their establishments. And I was like, you can't serve him. I mean, ultimately, can you stop a person from doing that? I guess you can't. Anyway, he called me one day and he said, Dirk, I'm really, really sorry. And I said, what? He goes, I'm in the hospital. I'm on the donor list. My liver failed, and I should have listened to you. And this is like a year and a half later. And I said, listen, don't, it's not me. Listen, don't, you're listening now. Your doctor told you what you had to do, and he said, I'm going to stop drinking. And he stopped drinking, and he was doing really well. He was on the donor list, and then he never got a liver, and he passed away. And he was a beautiful guy, and his name was Tony. And I think about him every time I pull out the pen. I think about him. He also gave me this. He had this beautiful shirt on from Façonnable, and it's blue, and it's kind of it's a merino wool and cotton blend. This is good for Fashion Police. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I said to him, because he had such great style, I said, man, that shirt is killer. And then like a week later, he came in with a Façonnable box. He goes, I got you one. They're on sale. He was made up some bullshit. It was probably a $300 shirt. And that's another thing that I cherish to this day. And and it was the most beautiful thing, and Paul stole it. So Paul wears it. Really, really funny, But yeah. So Tobes. It's true. And Nathaniel with another $4.90. Thank you for the Super Chat Monday. It's nice. Rust Armor found guilty of involuntary manslaughter today. 18-month sentence. Oh, boy. I mean, it makes you wonder. Like, listen, I have to talk to my friend Steve about that. because like I mean, she was smoking weed and wasn't she selling coke on the set? Man, who was running the asylum? And apparently Alec Baldwin was a producer. And I love Alec Baldwin. You guys know that. I think he makes a lot of mistakes. And obviously, I think he was doing that executive producer as they give anybody a producer's credit to shut people up. So sometimes these actors want to be producers and they slap their name on it and makes them feel better about themselves. I don't know what it is, but obviously this woman is dead and the responsibility has to lie somewhere. Obviously the armor would be your first line of defense there. And, and then there has to be people, she has to be checked too. So yeah, Nathaniel Hannon, thank you so much for that. And let's give you the Monks. Meanwhile, that's supposed to be so serene, and it isn't. It's like the loudest one we have, I think. Tobe says, so glad you like that Seiko. I loved it, but never wore it. I wear it all the time. I get so many compliments. I mean, I had a woman on the subway go like this. She goes, is that a Seiko? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I've never seen that one. It's beautiful. My husband loves his Seiko. I was like, yeah. Now I'm too snobby after I could afford a Rolex. That's almost the only thing I wear. Hey, well, I just took off my Rolex and put on the Seiko. So there you go. One thing I'll never be is snobby. You know what I learned? I'll tell you about. I've never been rich, so, but I've been kind of like semi-famous in the metal world. I learned from Ronnie James Dio when I met him as a very young person, aspiring singer. He taught me about treating people with equal respect. And he says, if your band explodes or blows up, and here's a really good story about Ronnie James Dio. Okay, so Ronnie James Dio is a very famous, legendary, now deceased heavy metal singer. He died in 2010. Legendary guy, Black Sabbath, Rainbow, Dio, blah, blah, blah. So I met him when I was 13 or 14, 13 or 14. Me and my friends used to go after shows and we go to their hotel and go, please, can we have your autograph? And then take pictures. I have a picture of me and Ronnie James Dio when I'm a chubby little kid and all this stuff. And, we became pen pals and he got me backstage just to Sabbath shows and all that shit. And then he started his own band, right? So this local band that I started to sing with, I don't know, a year and a half later, that was Anthrax. They're pretty famous. And we were doing a rehearsal and Scott, who's the guy in the band, the main guy, the guy invented Anthrax, he goes, anybody going to see the Sabbath show over in Jersey? And I said, yeah, I'm going. I said, you want to meet Ronnie? And he goes, what do you mean you want to meet Ronnie? I said, well, I kind of know him. Like, we're pen pals. He's been very inspirational to me. He's like, you're full of shit, Kennedy. You're full of shit. And I was like, no, I'm really not. So he had this girlfriend named Marge Ginsburg. And he says, I'll drive if we can go. I said, okay. So I got home. I knew where he was staying, the Meadowlands Hilton. So I called, got his room. I said, hey, Ronnie, how are you doing? Could we get a couple passes for tonight's show? He's like, yeah, sure. Just come up when you get here. I'll probably be here. Well, we get there and we get to the hotel and he's like, you're really going for it, man. You're full of shit and you're really going for it. Well, I went to the desk. They said, come on up. And we get there and he didn't open up the door. He says, hey, I'm in the shower, you guys, if you don't mind. And he slid it under the door. And I have it. I don't know. It's in a binder somewhere. Anyway, long story short, tickets for the show, backstage passes. After the show, we went backstage. We met like Lemmy from Motorhead and a bunch of people from UFO. And it was very, very cool. And anyway, so he was so shocked. Anthrax went on to be a big band. And he put a book out a couple of years ago. I forget what it was called, like All Access or it's called I'm the Man. That guy from Anthrax. Because he's the guy, he invented the term not. And there's a chapter in the book where he tells that whole story. And he's like, yeah, Kennedy. But here's the funny thing. couple of chapters later, when Anthrax became popular, they're playing some huge festival with Dio in, I don't know, Europe somewhere. And he hadn't seen him since he met him with me. So he approaches Ronnie in the backstage area and he walks up to him. He goes, hi, Ronnie. Hi, my name is Scott. And he goes, I know who you are. You're Kennedy's friend. He brought you backstage. That's the kind of guy he was. So, you know what? Snobbery and all that shit. I mean, I don't get it. I don't care if you have like the best watch in the world. Somebody's interested to talk to you about stuff. I mean, I've met people who are so snobby, and I know you're not. I know that. Obviously not, because the beautiful letter and the gifts and incredible humility and humanity that you show. Amazing. And I agree with you on a lot of stuff. Not all of it, but some of it. There's no reason for anybody in the world. Sometimes you're having a bad day. Like I think I've told you guys that my father-in-law is kind of a stage door Johnny. And for the youngins in the room, that means people who wait backstage for like the Broadway actors. And he always has a crush on like one of these beautiful starlets, like Julianne Moore or Kate Winslet, or, he develops these crushes because it's cute and whatever. And they're beautiful. And why wouldn't he? And Laura Linney was one that he absolutely was mesmerized by. And she kind of flipped him off a little bit. She was like, I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. And he was crushed, absolutely crushed. And it destroyed his love for Laura Linney. And why wouldn't you want to love Laura Linney? She's brilliant. But she didn't have the time that day. But like I say in every outro of this show, you don't know when somebody's having a bad day. Maybe, somebody, and her family is ill, or she has a pet issue, or you don't know, she's got to go to the doctor. You never know. So you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. I give people 3 chances to not be assholes. Anyway, Angelo Minichello with the extra I. Sorry, buddy. Yay, my uncle's family all go by the anglicized version of our name. Their choice, but I hate it. Yeah, I agree. I say embrace your Italianness, your ethnicity. I love how the O'Malleys use all their Celtic, original Irish spellings for their names, and their mom, having an affinity. It's very easy, like Ireland was occupied for, the better part of 800 years. The British tried to do everything. No offense to our British people, because you had nothing to do with it. To strip them of the language and all that stuff. And, Ireland has regained, because, when I was a kid, there was nothing, no signs were in Irish. I mean, maybe a couple, but not many. And, and I don't think Irish was allowed to be taught in school until after the reunion. I don't know when the year is, so don't quote me on that. But, obviously they teach it now, and that's great. But yeah, I still think that it's a very low population of Irish speakers in Ireland. But I think it's beautiful. I think everybody should embrace where they come from. It's great. I'm not a nationalist by any way. I don't believe in nationalism. I think we're all on the same rock together, and I think we should enjoy each other's cultural differences. And I think we should leave it at that, because you know how much I love Italy. I love the food. I love the people. I love the culture. I grew up the same religion, and I take it with as much a grain of salt in the Irish version as I do the Italian version of Catholicism. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I love the spelling on that name. Minichello. And I say it correct, right? Minichello. Nathaniel Hannon, I don't want the Breitling. I was introducing myself, telling them I don't want any sports models inquiring about the 6119G. Okay, well, hey man, you and I have not even talked about, like, well, because you made that big giant monster solid gold Omega purchase. So I mean, I don't know if you're in the market. What, Nathaniel? What's on your next? What's on your wish list for the next thing? I have no idea. Tobe says so. Oh, I got that already. Oh, you never wore it. Okay, got it. Sorry, I went past that. Good luck, Mr. Hannon. That's funny. Awesome Power says you need an independent watch at Dirk Lane or Kudoki is a good start. Yeah. I mean, sure. Mr. Mustang Rick is missing. I know we'll be back next week. I promise you. We can't let it go 3 weeks. That would be terrible. Ray says I ruined my life numerous times because of alcohol. It took me till I grew up, age 50. I was never arrested sober. I turned my life around after a small stay behind bars. That should do it. Sadly, I know a lot of people who went behind bars several times, and it didn't wake up their act, and that's a shame, you know. Tom Voss is in the house, and he upvoted. Yay! Uh, Dave says, I'm very glad that things worked out for you. Yes, we're very proud of you, Ray Ray. Absolutely. Awesome, says 209. Absolutely. It's very important that, listen, man, there's so much beauty in life. Listen, you know, some people can do cocaine and some people can do, you know, I hate the way pot smells. I know people love marijuana. I just think it's just so intrusive. It's everywhere now. And it's like, I can't, it's on my clothes and it's really annoying. But I still think people should have the right to do it. I think people should have the right to do what they want. If you could handle a little bit of cocaine at a party in Las Vegas once a year, great. But if you're one of those people that starts looking for it, then I think it's really, really sad, you know. You know, Le Carre says that Anthrax is one of my favorite one-hit wonders. They never had a hit, did they? Metal bands don't need to have hits. They just put out records and people buy them and go, you know. I mean, Anthrax started, you know, like I think I've told you the story before, you know, Metallica moved into our building and then they saw what they were doing and kind of copied it and went in that direction. So they wound up becoming one of the big four. The big four being Metallica, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth. Because Megadeth, the guy in Megadeth, was in Metallica, and they kicked him out because he had a problem with alcohol, as they all did. So it's the pot calling the kettle black. Oh, bring the noise. Well, you know, they did the whole hard rock rap, you know, mashup before anybody. So they did. I've never followed that. Music is just a little too heavy for me. I like, you know, Iron Maiden and Queensryche, and I like Judas Priest. I like classic metal, singable metal. Even though I think their singer Joey is fantastic. Melly C says you should always treat others the way you want to be treated. Better words were never said, and I believe Jesus said it first, and that's very true. Jesus was very cool. Is the anglicized version of Minicello, right? Or Mink. Don't be a Weisenheimer like Carre. Nathaniel Hanna. Wish list is the Calatrava. Yeah, well, of course, sure. Yeah, sure. Who doesn't want that? Oh, right. You said that before. And the Platinum Day Date. Oh. Amazing. Yeah, sure. Those are great. Hey, Andrew. And Andrew, find my earrings. I'm home. Upvote and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, he's usually first, but he didn't know I was doing a show today. Nobody did because I just threw it out there because I was like, oh, God. Namaste. Thank you so much for that. So great to see you, Andrew. What do you say here? You say, guide, good solution. Nathaniel says that BMW makes a BMX. Yeah, they do. They do make them. I should take a couple of pictures of my bikes. I have two very, very special bicycles because I was very into to mountain biking when I was in my younger days, and I have two very beautiful bicycles. I have a very rare Cannondale V4000DH, and I have a Harrow Extreme Hardtail, and they're very beautiful. And I was working on them all day today because every year I set them up and don't ride them, but I'm gonna do it this year because yeah, I got to find things to fill my day because I don't have the lady here and I don't have anybody to dote on. So maybe I'm going to dote on myself a little bit. I've seen the BMW. A lot of Porsche made a bike too for a couple of years. But the truth of the matter is, like watches, bike brands often don't make their own frames. They're almost always made in Italy. And one of the big companies is called Verlichi. And Verlichi is in Bologna. And I actually had a frame that I cracked on my I had a Harrow downhill bike and I cracked the frame on it and I made a big stink out of it because, that thing's a downhill bike. It's not supposed to break. And they sent me another one. So most of them don't. It's like Movements back in the day when very few bike companies are in-house. Very few. Cannondale's one of them. And then when you get into road biking, like Road Biking Massey and all those brands, the Campagnolo, they make the best Gruppos in the world. The Gruppo is all the componentry. Biking is let me tell you something. You think watches are deep and it's a deep dive. The bike thing is nuts. And I've been out of the game for quite a long time, but I keep my nose a little bit wet. But But I have the two bikes, the only two bikes. There's only one bike that ever got away from me. And it was a Harrow Extreme monocoque, and it was a front suspension bike, and it was a monocoque frame, and they made very few of them. It came in red or silver, and I wanted that silver one so bad, and I could never get a hold of one. I tried and I tried and I tried, and I still to this day look on the internet to see if anybody's got an old one kicking around. And I never thought I'd get the Cannondale because it was made for the team, for their racing team. I was like, I'm never, and it was $6,000. I'm never going to get this bike. One day I'm on eBay. This is 20 years ago. I'm on eBay and I see Cannondale V4000 DH, brand new in box, $850. There's no way. So I bought it and it never came. Then, like 3 or 4 months later, this Sam Ash truck. Sam Ash is a big music store in New York City and maybe elsewhere. I'm not quite sure. Shows up, this guy pulls a Cannondale out of the box. He turns out he was a truck driver for Sam Ash. I said, "Can I ask you a question? This is made for the team. How did you ever get this bike?" And he goes, "Oh, my cousin is Miles Rockwell, who was one of the team riders." He goes, "Yeah, he owed me some money and he gave me a bike, but it's been sitting in my garage. Sorry it took so long." I was like, "Bye." And it's in mint condition except the chain on there. I need to change the chain on it because it's not doing so well. But that's about it. Everything else is pretty mint on it. It's great. Angelo says, a possible solution, be allergic to alcohol like me. Hey, lucky you. I mean, wine too? That would suck. I'm allergic to coconut. And that is the only, other than I used to be allergic to cats, and then I got one, and I cured myself of that. And my friend and his wife just recently had their first child, and we were out at a local pub, and first time we met their kid, and the kid was eating these cute little crackers. And I said, "What are these? I never saw them before." These crackers had every known allergen that children have. So it was like soy, peanuts, coconut, all these crazy things to kind of start their immune system to get used to it in very small increments so their kid wouldn't be allergic to any foods. Their kid's not allergic to anything. It's the greatest thing I ever heard in my life. Bert Dundee says, my bike has a 1200cc engine in it. Yeah, that you don't want me to do that. I'll kill myself because I'm a daredevil. Because I used to go down ski runs on a bicycle. And you know what? I never broke a bone, but man, I flipped about 12 times going down like a Big Bear or one of the millions of Jim Thorpe, all those crazy places I used to go to. And, we'd go down the mountains during the summertime, take the lift up with our bikes and go flying down, 60 miles an hour. And one time I flipped about 12 times, and you know what? I just popped right out of it. I was very lucky. Sturdy Irish guy. Yeah. Cannondale made in PA, USA. Yeah, it's American made, which is, it's nice. Mark Wild. Oh, you have a Klein and Palomino XX nice with the bones color. It's painted in luminous green paint and really glows in the dark. Not ridden it in 20 years. Get on your bike, man. Where are you, Mark Wild? Why don't you tell me? Maybe we should go biking. Do you remember when Seinfeld had a Klein hanging from his I think he had a Specialized in the beginning, and then later on he had a Klein. Kleins are very, very cool bikes. Very interesting. They were some of them were carbon fiber. I had this one bike for a while. It was called an Iron Horse FS Works, and I had those spin rims that were made out of carbon fiber, and they were very pricey at the time. They were like $500 a piece. I'll never forget. Like I was in, my dad closed his bar, and I was looking for a job, and I was out of money, and I was like, I'm going to part. I never ride that bike, so I parted that bike out, and I sold those spin rims, and I've always regretted it. That's why I don't sell things now, because the regret is too much for me. I can't stand it. But I love those Kleins, yeah. Rufus rode Killington one summer. Did Killington a lot of times. Crazy taking your bike on a snow lift. Yeah, that's what we did. I was in races and shit. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was because I'm a little bit of a daredevil. I've never been on skis in my life. The only time I've ever been down a mountain is because I was on a bicycle. I've never been on skis. I would love to try it, but you know what? I'm probably too old because I still have a young adventurous spirit, and I would probably kill myself. I would imagine I would, Sonny Bono right into the thing. Anyway, 20 minutes to the hour. We have some pictures. Let's get in it. V for Victor 7 says Chuck Yarla. I don't know who Chuck Yarla is. Is that a famous person? Should I look that up? I've been out of the game for a while, so let's see. What's his name? What is the name I'm looking up? Chucky Arla. Tell me who that is, because you said it a couple times. Chuckarla. Who is Chucky Arla? Chucky. Don't know. I don't see this name anywhere. Chucky. Oh, oh, the Irish word for garlic. Oh, it's just you have it spelled funny, right? That's funny. Chucky Arla, right? There you go. I was like, wait a minute. I was a little confused. I was like, is that one of the newer, hotter cyclists that I don't know anything about? Ray Ray's glad to be here. Andrew says a treat for Monday. Thanks so much. Dirk, he's playing on words. Yeah, well, you guys are, in Ireland. See, listen, I spent my summers as a kid in Ireland, and I mean, I don't have anywhere near the experience with the language like you guys do. I was like, just trying to figure that out. It's Chucky, you'd say Chucky Arla, right? You'd say it like that. I just looked it up and I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass. There's that troll's back on my stream, and he's like, "Is Dirk, is English your first language?" Maybe it's not. Okay, so let's get started with some of the Bastards Gallery. Bastards, bastarddirk@gmail.com. You share it with me, I share it with the world. If you want me to, I would love to. Couple things. Let's start off with Ray Ray's here. Ray on his bike giving us the finger. You dirty bastard. Here we go. On your hog. What do the Irish think of that when you show up with a fancy cycle like that in the West? Really, how do they fit in? I mean, do you have a lot of bikers in Ireland? I can't say I've ever seen that very much. You must be one of the few. It's a beautiful bike, though. Right. Giving us the finger. You, Ray, you. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm so proud of you, man. Tony Scuderi, speaking of Irish stuff. This is the Harry Sicilian, everybody. He's one of the greatest guys. He's showing off his Irish crisps. He's got, oh boy, I mean, he could get in trouble with that. I love Tato. I love Tato. But I have to say, I love me Kings as well. I do. And he says, guess who has an Irish wife? Well, now we all know. She's from Dublin too. Look at that. He's got skips, chopsticks, and cheese and onion. And they have prawn, smoky bacon. There's so many different flavors. I've got a big pack of Tato in my cupboard, and it's cheese and onion because it's the best. There's all these, and then they make spring onion. Have you guys tried? Anybody, you Irish folks, have you tried that spring onion? Man, it's like if salt and vinegar was on crack. It's just way too much. Oh, and then he's got his vintage Doxa, Jacques Cousteau, baby, on his big hairy paw, looking great. It's 10 minutes to 9 his time when he took this shot. It's a great looking one. Got it. It's beautiful. I love that shape. I love it. Thanks, you hairy Sicilian bastard. We love it, you Sicilian bastard. Okay, so here is this is Mr. Bad Gas, and I just want to send out a shout out to Jim and Marianne, because they lost their beautiful baby, and you guys know how I feel about that. And I'm going to present to you Winnie, and everybody keep him in your heart today. And this is his beautiful pup, Winnie. She was 15 and they lost her this week. She went across the Rainbow Bridge. I hope she meets Laverne and becomes a really good friend. She's beautiful. I mean, this picture is destructive. In the laundry, Skip. I mean, what a magical, magical creature for you. And I'm so sorry for you. I really am. I know how you feel. She's beautiful, and I'm sure she had. Look at that. Unbelievable. You would never even know it. Look at that. Magical beasts. These beasts that come into our lives and give us so much love. We'll never get love like that from a person. Look at the lounging. There's nothing more precious than having a beautiful pet, and they're sleeping and they're so comfortable and they're so protected, and they know that you're their protector, and they know that they're safe because they have that they have that nature where they hide when they know that. Look at them. Look at this. Look at this lovely couple and their beautiful Winnie. Thank you for sharing, you guys. Look at this. Oh man, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of Kalala in Inniscrone, Kalala Bay. Thinking of you guys right now. Unbelievable. Thank you for sharing that. We're thinking of you today. Thank you so much. And thank you for turning me on to Sarah Jarosz. This artist that he turned me on to, this beautiful singer-songwriter. Her name is Sarah Jarosz. And I don't want to get in copyright problems, but I'll just share. Sarah Jarosz. She's lovely. I'm a big sucker for bluegrass anyway. Thank you for that. When you play music on here, then they get YouTube gods get angry with you, and they demonetize you, and they do all kinds of horrible stuff. Steve McDonald. Oh, get out of here! Is that a Teutonic? Oh man, nobody ever talks about these. Oh, freaking hell! Do you guys know about this? I don't know. I mean, because I'm a Speedmaster hooer. This is the Teutonic. This was like in 1980, 81, early 80s that this came out. Very interesting shape, very Genta-esque, if I dare say so. I know he had nothing to do with it. Beautiful. Looks like the loom is shot on that, but that's great. It's got an 861 in it, right? It's a beautiful watch. Absolutely crazy. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this speedy porn. It is indeed. It is indeed. Look at that. Look at the finishing Omega always used to do. I mean, they don't do it now. They do it they kind of do it on the new 321. Does anybody else feel weird when people call it a 321? Oh, it's the 321. That's a 321, isn't it? I don't know. I always do that with numbers. Beautiful. Oh man, I love the Teutonic. Yeah, they made that for a very short time. And I was recently looking at one. I saw it on Chrono, and I think it was about $4,000. I mean, that's a whole lot of watch. It's certainly a showstopper. Who's going to know about that? I guarantee you half the speedy guys out there didn't even know that this watch existed. I am so stoked that I said stoked. God, what am I from LA? Yeah, take the 405 to the Pissy Edge, get off onto Haney, make a run at the Chicken Shack, go up the Canyon Road. It's like, oh my God, Stuart. Oh my God. Yeah. Stoked. I was watching a British real estate show, and the guy said stoked. Oh, who said it? It wasn't a real estate show. It was the guy who I think should be James Bond, Dino Fetcher. That guy should be James Bond. Pick that guy. He's 6'3". He's Welsh. He's 35 years old. Come on. Do you British folks, you folks from the UK know who Dino? I'm gonna put him up again. Why shouldn't I? Thank you so much, Angelo, with the Parmigiani. Oh, it's a video. Hold on. It's a video. Got to get in there quick. Fleurier. Hebdomadaire. Tim was in the Parmigiani shop trying on watches. I didn't see this. Wow. Wow. I mean, for a company that's only been around since 2006, they have certainly made their mark. I mean, this is some high horology. That is outrageous. Thank you for that. Oh, and last week he sent this at the very end. This is Shag Daddy's my dear friend Patrick's cat, Charlie. I mean, come on. First of all, black and white cats are so smart that if you have a safe, they'll crack it. They know how to get what they want. Look at this. Look at this beast. I love that he's almost got like a little slight harlequin on him. Beautiful. It's Charlie. Thanks, Patrick, for that. And I think there's some new entries. Yes, there are. There's a couple. Aha. We'll start with Bert. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this baby. Sheen's like, you show cats on your channel. I'm like, you bet I can do. And dogs. And motorcycles. Oh, and watches too. Look at this beautiful beast. I miss my baby's pink nose. I miss kissing her pink nose. She had like the little gray that went over the side of her nose and the little pink nose. Every day I miss her. Every day of my life. And I will miss her forever. Thank you so much, Bert. Thank you. She's the ruler of your house. Or is it he? I don't know. Could you tell me the name of your cat in the chats if you're here? You're here because you just sent me this. Hey, you want to see a pretty watch? Oh, is this a video? Come on. Download. Hold on. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Or is this a bunch of pictures? This is from... Oh, don't open Photoshop. You're going to slow my computer down. What the... You send me a PSD, Carolyn Martin? I got to close this down because Photoshop. Oh, no. I don't know what you sent me, Carolyn Martin, but I got to get out of here. Okay. You sent me a PSD or a DNG. I don't know. All right. I'm going to show this real quick, but Photoshop is going to waste my computer because it eats up so much stuff. Hold on. It's too late. I couldn't stop it from opening. Here it is, Carolyn Martin with her Coke. Look, it's in Photoshop. It opened in Photoshop. I mean, that is a pristine Coke if you've ever seen one in your entire life. Holy smoke show. Wow. DNG. I don't even know what file that is, a DNG. I know. That's beautiful, Carolyn. And it looks great on you. And it's one of the most mintest things I've ever seen. And it's raw. Oh, it's raw. It's... How do I shut this down? Hold on. Give me a second. I need to close Photoshop out. Okay, done. I gotta close it because Photoshop. When I work on Photoshop for like music related stuff, I have to shut everything else down because it's just such a hog. Anyway, we got to see it. Thanks. DNG is the digital. Yeah, it's raw. It's a raw file, and that's okay. That's okay. Thank you, Carolyn. We got through it. No problem. What do we got going on here? We've got Rufus with a Naples sunset. I'm assuming this is Naples, Florida, because it doesn't look like Napoli, the other Naples. Beautiful. Look at that. I wouldn't mind being there right now with a cocktail. Beautiful. Look at that sunset. Holy shit. Now, what did you shoot that with? It couldn't be a phone, could it? There's 3 dots on there as if there's more pictures, but there isn't. Boo hiss. I would have liked more. Mark Wilde's trying to be artistic. Wow. And you're doing a very good job at it, if I do say so myself. Wow. Look at that. That is insane. Forgive me for not knowing my logos, but is that a Triumph? What is that? I mean, that looks like a very big beast. Very, very big beast. Wow. Wow. I mean, I love the black and white with the color juxtaposition. That is looks like Ansel Adams meets who's the guy that did all the U2 photography, and then Bon Jovi nicked him for a while. What's that guy's name? He's Dutch. Names escape me, but you guys, it's Moto Guzzi. Oh, there you go. Moto Guzzi, Italian. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. I love how you guys know all these things. I mean, listen, when you're a fan of stuff, you know about stuff. The Moto Guzzi 1400 Audaci. probably. Right. Audici. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Very artistic and very beautifully done. Beautiful rendering. What is that? Anton Corbin. That's his name. Just came to me. It took me a minute. Jade Pine. Oh, hey. Look at that. Oh, man. Look at this. You don't see these very often. This is a Mark III. Look at this. I'm going to blow this up. This is a killer watch. Look at that. Blue dial, the orange aeroplane, date, small. Look at that. Small seconds. I mean, this has got everything you could possibly want. That's a monster watch. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Marks. And like people don't know about them. That's look at the complication. Look at it. Look at what's going on in there. Holy, is there more than one shot of this? Jade, more. I want more. That is amazing. That is amazing. For a speedy guy like me, that's like, and I love the Marks. I love them. Hey, Jim Lassick. Nice. Let's get him on the screen. He needs to have one of those control centers where it just does stuff. He's got a monster arm, by the way. Let's blow this baby up. Wow. I love the way the sun. Oh, look at the kids and look. Oh, look at that. Oh man, that's a beautiful shot. You have giant Steve Garvey forearms, man. Those are crazy. Crazy. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Is there just one picture? Yeah, it's fun to be here on a Monday. Jim, thanks so much. Is that all the pictures? That's all the pictures we got today. Jade, send me more pictures of that Mark III because it's absolutely beautiful and I loved seeing it. Now let's see what I missed out on while I was gone. Okay. Cannondale. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. This one we were looking at Jim and Marianne's beautiful baby. Yeah, Carolyn Martin says, what a baby. What a beautiful, beautiful life. And thank you for giving her the life that she had. And I'm so sorry. Man, I have moments every single day in this house, this empty fucking house that it's not the same. I got rid of her box, that she sat on every day. And, she's in my bed. I sleep with her. She's there, Blessed there are angels among us. They sure are. Andrew says, happy family. Bert Dundee says, we don't deserve dogs. We don't, they find us and we're so lucky. What a family, says Carolyn Martin. Andrew Wolkowicz, $10. Thank you so much, Canadian. Take a moment to upvote, share this great show, and subscribe. Become a patron if you can. Also be inspiration in others' lives and a blessing in their memories. Bash on, you bastard. Exactly, right. We're just here. We have one go-round. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation or the afterlife or carousel or any of that shit. But if you do, I think it'll just make you a better person in the next one. Let's just be kind. Let's just not, if you have an argument with somebody you love, somebody you care about, and you have a disagreement, be the bigger one, be the big one. Go and seek them out and fix it. Because we go around, all the friends I've ever had, I still have pretty much. Save for maybe one or two, and the one or two that are currently on the outs, they know why, and it's generally has to do with people who have addiction problems, and I don't like drugs and I don't like to be around them. I will help you out as best as I can, but once stuff gets ugly, then I walk away. But reach out to the people who you care about, and if you're having any issues with anybody, just reach out because it's worth it. People are worth it. Andrew, thank you so much. We'll give you the big gong. Thank you, buddy. Love you so much. Thank you. Listen, it doesn't take a lot to say I'm sorry, and it doesn't take a lot to say, you don't even have to tell people they're forgiven. Forgiveness, though, is the greatest gift we can give ourselves and others. Andrew loves that tuxedo. I know I have a special thing. Even though Laverne destroyed my soul, we had this cat named Glaucus and a cat named Murray, and one couldn't have been smarter and one couldn't have been stupider. And I know stupider is not a word. Dave says, to show everybody my ignorance is a 3-2-1 movement in reference to Nash's launch countdown. No, I don't believe that it is. I don't. I mean, I should know that off the top of my head and say absolutely yes or absolutely not. I don't think that it is. I mean, because they tried on Breitlings and Rolex, and they tried on a bunch of different watches, and that one already had that movement was in there long before that. The 321, made its debut like in the late 40s because it was a Lamania based movement, and they just did their tinkering as they all did and said, "This is our movement." And then the 861, 1861, and then the 3861. They're all, the only difference was the column wheel, really. Lateral clutch, all that shit that went on later on. So cute. What a baby, right? So her name is Leah. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful, Leah. Could tell it was a girl, right? Ray Ray says, by the way, Oisin and Thorpe been released back into the ocean. They were kept for a science study, not for eating. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. Those are the two lobsters he had in captivity. They were a science study. So what were they doing? What were they doing? Lobsters are monogamous, as far as I've been told. Andrew says we will all see our lost loves in the proper time. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? It would be. It really would. Yeah, okay. We got through it, Carolyn, so it was all good. I'm just looking at the ones I missed while we were looking at all the pictures. Yeah, I know JPEG is a compression thing. Yeah, I know that. I just didn't know because I've never shot anything in RAW, so I didn't know what the digital version of that is. Even though we have a Leica in the house, a digital Leica that shoots in RAW, and I don't think we've ever used it. Dave F451 says, Mark W., my oldest brother, rode Moto Guzzi, huh? Photographers use and work in raw DNG files for editing, enhancing, export. Right. Yeah. Because Paul's dad was a photographer for the Museum of Natural History. And he worked in the darkroom, and it was an entire floor in that massive building. And when they went fully digital, they closed the darkroom, and then they had all this exhibition space. It became another giant gallery. Isn't that crazy? Because no more dark rooms. Dark rooms are special, though, man. There was something very special about dark rooms. It definitely was. Sergio also says there's a cat and dog paradise, believe it or not. I believe it. There has to be, because they're the most unconditional love you'll ever get in your entire life, because people are, we're the only species capable of malice, though Oisin will disagree with you because he will tell you that the seagulls in Venice are full of malice, because they're pretty bad. Everyone has moments. It's all good. We all understand it's true. Ray, dude in photo is up on the wall in the lambing shed. She's watching over my new lambs. Yes, I'm hoping that what you guys thought was going to happen didn't happen. And you lost your dog a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, we've just been going through it, haven't we all? Haven't we all been going through it? And I'm so sorry for that. Oh wait, Jade's got more pics, so hold on. Let me get those up, and then we'll close the show out. Oh, I'm very excited. I love these watches, in case you know. I always talk about the Mark IIs, but this is a Mark III. This is a very special piece. Look at this. Look at that bracelet. Look at this. This is a very cool watch. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, people don't. This is a very cool watch. That and the Teutonic. You never see those. Thank you so much, Jade. I'm so happy. Sorry, I need to work on my photography skills. We love Speedy in the house. Who doesn't love a Speedy in the house? It's so nice to have a Speedy among the house. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have done a little Ambush Mondays, and thank you so much for joining. We had like 70 some odd people in the room at one point, which is better than some Wednesdays. So hey, thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you for coming in. I'll be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 o'clock, and all that stuff. Hold on a second. Angela says, FW, I'm bad with acronyms. If you want to check out the note I sent with the video, some extra information about Mr. Parmigiani, I will read it right after the show. And maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Thank you so much, Angelo. Remember, good show, man. Thank you. I'm Irish, living in Tasmania. Wow. That's crazy. You ever see a Tasmanian devil? Remember, for tomorrow's show, please send all of your picks and anything else, any correspondence you have, any questions. We could do a Q&A one day. That would be fun. I'll ask you questions. You can ask me questions. bastarddirk@gmail.com. The little scroll wheel that's going on underneath my thing, I'll restart it, is my Patreon Pantheon. If you want to join the Patreon Pantheon, thanks. So we do little fun little giveaways every once in a while, and we got some, things. I should do way more, I know. And I will. I'm just getting used to the whole system, and I'm loving everybody on there. Thank you, dedicated folks. Thank you so much for being there. Andrew says, thanks for being a treat. No, you thanks for being a treat and a Monday tease. Don't say that. Right. You guys are hilarious. You're hilarious, all y'all. Listen, man, thank you so much for joining me on this Monday. At the end of the day, it's very important to remember a couple of things. Remember to say please and thank you. Remember to hold the door open if you can. Remember that not everybody's having the best day that you are, and give them the benefit of the doubt, unless you find out after a couple of incidents that they're a total